be back. I believe that this is probably my first video that I've done since my little boy was born. So excited. Lots of fun things going on in this house, of course, with him, and we're loving on him. But I'm excited to be back to show you, as you guys have seen, I have hopefully on my Instagram and other social media, I have been participating in the 100 Days of Bible Promises Challenge, where we are working through Shauna Noel's newest book. It's a devotional journal, and so the challenge is for the 100 days to journal every day, and you'll journal directly in the book. So if you have no clue what I'm talking about, there is a video before this that goes into more about the challenge and supplies that I'm using. If you're interested, I'll have that video linked below. But today, I thought it would be fun to show you guys my pages from the first 2 weeks of the challenge. By the time the video goes up, we are going to be on about day 17 or 18. And so, but anyways, I wanted to show you the first 2 weeks. And so let's just dive right in. I do want to say thank you to Dayspring for sending me this devotional so that I can work through it and share it with you guys and how I'm working in it. So thank you to them. All right. One thing I want to say is a lot of people, if you've been following others, they have had their books where they have the binding or the coil in them, so they're easy to work in. I did not do that, but I saw that Shauna Noel has one of these gold clips that she uses. So like when you're working on pages, you can clip the other pages and that keeps them down so that it's easier to work in. And so I just happened to remember that I have one, or I have several actually. And the ones that I have are my Heidi Swap brand. So you might try looking for something like that if you're looking for a way to make it easier to work in here. This helps tremendously to keep those pages flattened for you, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you would love to get the book and you haven't been following along, I will leave a link down below where you can get the book, and also a code for you to get free shipping on the book and any illustrated faith goodies from Dayspring as well. Okay, so I haven't filled out this page yet, but this just kind of gives you a preview of what it looks like if you haven't got yours. Okay, so here was day one. Each day we'll go, I'll give a quick idea of the book for those who don't have it. You have your devotion over here. They're usually a short reading with a couple scripture, the daily scripture for that day, and then also the prayer is on the bottom on the other side. Okay, so the first day was His grace is sufficient, and I've seen a lot of people doing like all kind of color schemes, but I kind of found it fun to stick with the color scheme that's already there on the pages. So like all of this over here is already on those pages. And so I just kept with those same colors, as you can see with the stickers I chose, this extra little papers pieces. So if you see what I mean, like this one's not been done yet, so you can see all of this is already there, and that's what I'm building off of. So if you do not have time to go in depth like this on each page, they do, certainly have lots of the artwork already there, so it's not going to look like your page is bland either way. Okay, so His grace is sufficient was day one. I added some journaling here with the illustrated faith pens, and then most of the items that I'm using in here are also illustrated faith, so you can find those on Dayspring as well. This came from their, I believe it's Faith Over Fear collection, and then these are from their new alphabet letter sticker pad that they have. And so I just added some little things. I wasn't going to do tabs every day because I thought it would get bulky, but then I couldn't help it because I just love having a tab up there, so I kept it and then put the date. So that would be day one. And then day two, again keeping with the same color thing, day two was Don't Be Afraid. So I added paper pieces, journalings, washi tape, and one thing that I'm finding that I'm enjoying is I'm using supplies that I already have on hand. You may want to do the same thing. It is fun though, because I'm finding supplies I have from Illustrated Faith that match and go perfectly. Stamps as well. So it just kind of depends on what you are wanting to do, but I'm liking that I'm using supplies I already have that work perfect. And so each day you're gonna see, typically I'm doing just some washi tape, stickers, alphabet stickers. I have stamped a little bit. I've got the tabs and then journaling, and that's about all that I've been doing so far. I haven't been using paints or watercolors. I just want to keep this something that I'll be able to do it every day and not to get behind. Okay, so here's day 3. Nothing is too difficult for God. Again, same thing. And then you can see all of this over here, besides this extra gray that I added, are all part of the page already. Okay, day 4, be still. So I pulled from the scripture and also from what she was saying, and just placed the peace, rest, be still, stop. And those are the words that I think of when I think of being still and resting in God's arms. Okay, day 5. I really love this one too. This one was your desire and God's purpose. And one thing I want to point out that she says in here is that it says, as you give him your heart, he sings back to yours, calling you to fulfill the exact purpose he's created you for, and it will be a masterpiece. So what I liked about this one was I had these little stickers with the birds and the musical notes, and then the tab with the musical notes, and those came from Dayspring or Illustrated Faith as well. And so I love how she says that he will sing back to your heart. So that's why I put over here and had song of purpose. He sings a song of purpose over us. And so I really loved how that all worked and tied in. One thing I started doing as well, maybe on about day 5, was I have the Crayola twistable colored pencils, not crayons, but they're colored pencils, the twistable ones. And I used those to add some color as well. And I like how they're not as bold as using a pen, so it kind of gives you some contrast there. Here's day 6. It says, don't worry, which I need tremendously because I tend to let things rest in my mind and tumble there, and I really need to not worry so much. So this one was a perfect one for me. And then this one I just did very basic with the paper pieces, some washi tape, and then journaling. Okay, day 7 says steadfast in your work. I kind of journaled about what I feel like a calling and work for me is. And I love this. This is my tribe. That is from their All People, All Nations. They're one of their new collections. So that tied in perfectly for what I'm talking about with family there. Okay, oops. Day 8. I love this page. This is probably one of my favorites. I love the color combo that she has here with the mustard yellow, the pink, and the black. And so this one was praise at all times. What a great reminder. And a lot of the supplies that I have, she from Dayspring talk about being grateful, pray, trust, rejoice. So that all just went perfect with this one. And then day 9 was new beginnings. And this one I thought it would be fun to use like the birds and the flowers here, the cacti, for new beginnings, new life, and new, blooms and stuff like that. Okay, then day 10 is new mercies every day. This page, I also want to read something out of the devotional for you. She has said in here, with each new dawn, God's love and mercies are there waiting for you to soak them in and start anew. Yesterday and its regrets are over, and his faithfulness and love are still burning strong with each new morning. And I loved how she said that his love and mercy is there waiting for you to just soak it in. So my prayer that day was for me to have a sponge-like spirit that would just soak it all up every single day, his love and his mercy. So this is probably one of my favorite pages. That's something that's really stuck with me, with the sponge and soaking it all up. Really love day 10 a lot. All right, day 11, freedom in confession. And so we all know that not confessing and staying in sin, or things that are in our heart that shouldn't be there, will just bind us up. So I love being able to emphasize freedom and that freeing spirit that comes with confession. And now I just used a Faber-Castell, the big brush marker, or the big brush pens, and wrote out freedom, and then just outlined it in their black Pit Artist pens. So you don't always have to have the stickers to do so. And I like how that was big and bold on the page. Okay, day 12. I like this page a lot. It was one of my favorites. Wisdom for those who ask. And so I just wrote out wisdom very big on that pet side and, kept it pretty simple. Day 13 is courage instead of fear. And I love this paper piece that came, I believe this one also came from the All People, All Nations collection that says, Wow, God. Because when I was reading it, I just felt like, those words really just stood out to me personally, back to God saying, Wow, God, like He has the Spirit in us that gives us courage, that gives us faith, and we don't have to have fear. There's power and a courage into your spirit that will disable and conquer whatever ties your stomach and knots. So this ties along great with what she has said about worry and fear as well. Which I'm finding is a theme in here. Maybe that's just for me personally, but I really like that a lot. And then day 14, if you look here, day 14 is where I started keeping it maybe a little more simple. Time is one thing, of course, with a newborn, but if you look like these pages, there's a lot going on, which I love. That doesn't bother me. I like that style, but there's also something I really like about having a little more simplicity. And so day 14, I started doing a little bit more of that, and this is a spirit-led life. And so when I found this Spirit Lead Me piece, this was perfect, and that also comes from the All People, All Nations, their newest collection. So that was one that's really showing up a lot that I could use here. This stickers up here, kind of like a washi, but it's not. It's just a strip of stickers. Also came from that collection, the Called to Love did. So you might check that one out because that is one in this Love All People. That is one that is working great here. To match with the theme and with the devotional. So anyways, let me get back to what I was saying. I wanted to keep some of them a little more simple. I also want to show that you don't have to have an hour, 30 minutes, even 20 minutes to do a devotional and also journal. If you want to just read the devotional, make some notes over here, that is perfectly fine because you already have a lot of artwork on the pages, but you could take 10 minutes, add a couple little stickers, some washi tape, and journal a little prayer or however the Lord's speaking to you on that day, and you're done. So there's also another idea to help you out. If you are, on time constraints more than others and you just don't have a lot of time to sit down, but you want to do this every day, it is certainly doable. That's for sure. Okay, I wanted to show you, this would be day 14. You can see, like, if I'm working in here, it's going to be kind of hard. The pages want to flip up. So if you get a large clip like this, if your book is not coiled or bound with the binder thing, however it is, then this works perfect. So you see that weights it down. So now my book is laying more flat and I'm able to work. So I'm glad that I saw her doing that. I just didn't even think to do it. And I had the clip. So it would be crazy not to. But I did get this, like I said, it's Heidi Swap. I got mine at Michael's one time when they were on clearance. So I'm not sure that they have them anymore, but I know you could find any kind of binder clips like this at any office supply store. I just think the gold one's really cute. All right, so that is the first 2 weeks. I will give you a quick sneak peek of day 15. And then if you come back in 2 more weeks, I will be showing you my next 2 weeks entries so that you can follow along. If you want to get any inspiration from these, please do so. I will leave a link to my Instagram channel where I am keeping a highlight on my profile page where you can see every page that I'm doing throughout the 100 days if you want to look back at any of them. But there you have it. That would be the first 2 weeks for me. I'm loving this challenge so far and really making it a priority to get in the Word and in the devotional. Before I go, I want to leave you with one last little idea. I thought one thing that would be really fun is that since I'm journaling in here, it might seem like when I go back, if I ever want to do the devotion again, that I've already done, so much on the page that it would be hard to. So I'm thinking what a fun idea would be to go back later when I go through the devotional again, because all of it will be fresh and new then as well, is to take the scripture that's over here on this side, because this is like your main scripture for that day, or you could use one of these if you've already journaled this one. But like I could go 2 Corinthians 12:9 in my Bible and just journal something about grace on my Bible page. And so I'm thinking what I would want to do is maybe instead of doing like a whole big entry in my Bible, just doing like a small little devotional or entry, little excerpt just on the side of that page for each day. And so then I could go day 2 to Isaiah, do a little something on that page, and that way I could document each day in my Bible and be able to still go back through it, even though I've used up the pages in here. So some people were saying they were kind of wondering how they would be able to go back through it. And so that's an idea if you were curious. All right. Well, I did not mean to go this long and talk so much. But anyways, if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below, and I would love to try to help you out in any way I can. I hope that this will be an encouragement to you and that you have been having fun as well doing the devotionals each day. Please tag me on Instagram in your entries. I would love to see your post as well. And I would love to get inspiration. I love seeing what everyone else is doing and kind of being able to help each other out there and encourage each other. So again, I will see you back in 2 weeks for the next 2 weeks entries. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.